Dear students, in this video we will try to understand how to derive the Maxwell third equations in differential and integral form from the fundamental Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Now, as far as the examination point of view is concerned, there can be a question like state Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, derive Maxwell's third equation in differential and integral form. Now in this question there are two parts. First form is only the statement of the law and second part is the derivation. Note that the mark distribution in the examination for this question will be like this. For the statement there will be the 3 marks minimum, and for the derivation maybe in differential or integral form 5 marks will be allotted. If the whole question is asked in the examination, this question will be there for 7 or 8 marks. So depending on the question you have to write the answer. Now as far as this question is concerned, how to write the answer, let us see here. Now first of all we will concentrate on the statement of the Faraday's law and then we will turn towards the derivation. Okay. Now Faraday's law of induction is a basic law of electromagnetism that predicts how a magnetic field will interact with an electric circuit to produce an electromotive force, that is EMF. It is the fundamental operating principle of transformers, inductors and many types of electrical motors, generators and also solenoids. So as far as the statement of this law is concerned, what is that? So here you see the statement: the magnitude of induced EMF in a closed circuit is equal to the negative time rate of change of magnetic flux enclosed by the circuit, and mathematically it is given by EMF is equal to minus d phi by dt, where phi is the magnetic flux which is proportional to the strength of the magnetic field B passing through the plane of the loop of wire and the area of the loop A. To understand this further, let us will refer this figure. In this figure what we are observing, these arrows indicate the magnetic fields along positive x direction. So magnetic field itself is the vector quantity, and in this field we have inserted the rectangular loop of the coil through which definitely current will flow later. So this loop of area A and B is the magnetic field strength. So how the flux changes in this case, let us will understand here. So phi is defined as mathematically equal to BA cos theta, where theta is the angle between vector B and the plane of the loop. Now note that when the plane of the loop is perpendicular to the B, then theta will be 90 and cos 90 will be equal to 0. Now, so depending on the value of theta, definitely this phi will change. Now this BA cos theta is again represent the dot product of vector B and vector A. Now one more confusing fact is here. Plane of the loop we are observing here as a normal to the B, but the angle between normal to the loop and the magnetic field B is 0. That is, when this angle is 0, theta is 0, then phi will be maximum. Like this, depending on the value of theta, one can get the idea about the phi. Now it also can be represented as surface integral of vector B over the surface, this surface dA, as phi equal to surface integral, this is the sign of surface integral, B dot dA, where dA is the small elemental area of this whole area. Now the changing magnetic field induces electric field E in the conductor. This electric field causes the charge Q going around the loop. The line integral of E around the closed path represent the work done by the induced electric field E per unit charge. This line integral is equal to the induced EMF E. So that means here again one can write the induced EMF E is equal to line integral of E dot dl. Now here this is very interesting how one can restate the Faraday's law as line integral of E dot dl, that is EMF, is equal to minus d phi by dt. So this is the modified form of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Now will turn towards, this is the statement and their derivation. Now will try to get how to get the integral and differential form. This is only the mathematical manipulation from here to there, how to use the different mathematical terms here. Now what we will do here, we will substitute the value of phi from equation 3. So this is the phi from equation 3 in equation 5, that means in this equation we will get here left hand side as it is, line integral E dot dl equal to minus d by dt. Now here phi is there, but instead of phi we will write from equation 3, you are observing here, surface integral B dot dA, and this is substituted as here minus d by dt of surface integral B dot dA. This is equation 6, and it also can be rewritten as line integral E dot dl, so left hand side as it is, equal to, now d by dt is multiplied inside the surface integral, so surface integral S dB by dt into dA. So equation 7 itself is the Maxwell's third equation in integral form. So to get this equation, what we have done, we have just substituted the value of phi in the basic Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and this equation is known as Maxwell's third equation in integral form. Now using Stokes theorem, note that already we have studied the Stokes theorem. What is that? The theorem is used to convert line integral into surface integral. That means here of equation 7, left hand side is the line integral, so we will try to convert into the surface integral. So how? So LHS of equation 7 can be written as the surface integral of cross product of del operator and vector E over the surface dA. As how this left hand side can be written using the Stokes theorem. So line integral E dot dl is equal to surface integral del cross E dA. So this step, that is equation 8, we have written based on the fundamental Stokes theorem. I am repeating this one. Okay. Now comparing equation 7 and 8, so left hand side of equation 7 and left hand side of equation 8, they are the same, therefore we will write here right hand side of 7 and 8, they are equal. So surface integral del cross E dA, this parameter should be equal to minus surface integral dB by dt dA. Now on both the sides we have here the surface integral, here we have the surface integral. So we will rearrange the terms, we will transport these terms toward the left hand side, and right hand side will become 0. So rearranging the terms, we get here surface integral del cross E plus this minus sign will become a plus dB by dt whole multiplied by dA is equal to 0. So if this surface integral is 0, this indicates that the integral part, that is del cross E plus dB by dt, should be equal to 0, and that is why we have written like this. So therefore, if this is the fact, then one can write here del cross E is equal to, you transfer this on this right hand side, minus dB by dt. And note that this equation 9 itself is the Maxwell's third equation in differential form. Note that. Let us again, we will see here how to get these differential equations. First of all, by defining the statement of the Faraday's law. Further, we have defined here the flux Ba cos theta, and the value of this flux we have written in terms of surface integral over that surface dA. And especially one more thing is here, we have tried to link this B to the electric field, and thus we have written here EMF can be written as the line integral E dot dl, and further just the mathematical rearrangement and simplifications are there. Okay, so thank you. In the next video we will discuss about Maxwell's fourth equation in differential and integral form. So today, thank you.